Hey friends, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are having a great day, great week. I'm back with another live stream to answer your questions. So I'm going to get this shared over into the Mind Power Collective group. And we're going to dive right in. Just a reminder, if you have a question for me or a topic that you would like me to cover, feel free to send me a message. You can post a comment below this video, or you can send me a message on Facebook or on my website, and I'd be happy to answer that question on a future video. All right. So today's question, again, was inspired by a couple of conversations I've had over the last couple of weeks. And it really is about mindset and fear. And really, there's lots of different questions that can kind of fall into this category, but it was more specific to what do I do when I feel called to do something, I feel inspired to do something, but I have such massive fear over taking that step, making that leap, making that investment, doing that thing. What do I do with my mindset? How do you associate or align your mindset when you're dealing with fear? And this is something that really deals with everyone. Everyone struggles with fear at some point, especially if you're doing something new. If you are, thinking about quitting your job to start a new career, or moving to a different location, or doing something brand new, fear is going to be a part of the path, right? Fear is that fear of the unknown. I've never done this before. I don't know what lies on the other side. What if this doesn't work? How do I do this? All these big questions, right? And I think there are a couple of things that come into play when we're talking about fear. So I want to talk about those before we dive into how to deal with it. The first thing is that we have this assumption that we have to be fearless, that we have to get rid of the idea of fear, that we have to release it, get rid of it, be super courageous and confident before we take the action. And that's not 100% true, right? I think a lot of us believe that we're supposed to be these fearless beings who don't feel that, concern or doubt or whatever comes up with fear. And you don't have to get rid of it entirely. And I don't think that we can all, or many of us, really get rid of fear across the board. It's there for a reason, right? There's a part of fear within us that's all about keeping us safe. That's the idea, right? Is to keep us safe. But for most of us, the fear that we're dealing with on a consistent basis isn't about really keeping us safe. It's under the guise of keeping us safe. But what it does is just keep us small. It keeps us in this realm of the known. It keeps us living the life that we've always lived, doing the things that we've always done. That certainty, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's not what we want, it keeps us playing small. So the first thing you have to understand is that you're not always going to get rid of fear. The key is not to get rid of fear. The key is to allow fear to be there. But as a friend of mine, a colleague used to say, don't let fear drive the bus, right? When fear is driving the bus, it stops you. It limits you. It holds you back. It tells you not to take that step, not to take that risk, not to make that move, not to quit your job. Don't put that money or that investment in, because if you do that, you can lose it. Fear also creates this story in our mind about all the horrible things that can happen, all the bad things that can unfold, all the things that you may not be expecting, it hyper focuses on all the things that can go wrong. If it hyper focuses on the money that you can lose, the danger you might be in, oh my goodness, what if you do this and you embarrass yourself? What will people think? Right? All this craziness, what you have to lose. When you start putting mindset into the picture, when you understand that you do have some control over that feeling of fear, not that you can get rid of it, but you can override it. You can make a choice to put fear in the back seat, and that you can decide what is going to happen on the other side of this choice. What's going to happen, what you intend, what you believe, what you are trusting, what you have faith about on the other side of this action. Okay? So the way that you really do that is you simply ask some questions that most of us are not equipped to ask when fear kicks in. So when fear comes in, like I said, it's going to talk to us and remind us of all the things that could go wrong. But most of us forget that we also have the same capacity to think about all the things that could go well, all the things that could go right, the best possible outcomes on the other side of this action. So when I'm working with a client, and I do this quite often, and we talk about, they come, oh my gosh, like I really feel called to do this, but I keep thinking like, what if I do this and it's the worst thing ever? What if I do this and I lose my job? What if I do this and, I lose all the money, or I don't make the money back, or it turns out to be the worst thing that I've ever done? What if? And then I ask them, okay, but what if it's the best choice you could have made? What if this is the beginning of the rest of your life? What if you look back in 5-10 years and realize that this choice at this moment was the best decision that you ever made? Now, I don't think all of our choices where fear kicks in they don't have to be these massive life moments, right? They're not going to be massive like make or break moments in our lives. But our inclination to automatically go to the doom and gloom is problematic. It's problematic because it sets us up to continue to live limited lives. But those of us who understand the power of what is happening up here, those of us who understand that you have a choice in what you do, that you have a choice in how you behave, you have a choice in what you think and what you believe with every step that you take, when you know that, then you do the work to get behind yourself. Then you remind yourself of why this thing, this step, this leap is important to you. Then you can go, okay, I understand. I've been down this path before, and I talk about this quite often. What I find happens for most of us is that we generally reach these, the fork in the road, right? We have this path, this left path, I call it, that we always know. We've been there, done that, have the t-shirt. We've been down that road multiple times before. We've chosen it because it is known, it's comfortable, it's secure, and it's something that like we could do it with our eyes closed, even when it's uncomfortable. And then we have this other path, this other option, this other opportunity that comes up that has the potential to get us to where we want to be. Like we feel called to go into the unknown, to step into this path that maybe it may be a little hidden, right? You can't see very far because you've never been there. You don't know what lies on the other side, but there's more potential there. And because it's unknown, there's also more fear. And so many people get to this fork in the road and they constantly choose the left path. They choose what they know because it's what they know. They choose it because it's secure. They choose it when it's uncomfortable because at least they know what to expect. But those of us, typically my clients, typically the people that are here on this page watching this live, typically the people who are thinking about, desiring, reaching for more, will look at that right path and they feel called, feel drawn, feel magnetized to go down this path. And sometimes you need a guide, and sometimes you need a facilitator, and sometimes you need support to remind you to keep going. And if you have that, whether it's a mentor or a coach, or you just have the power of your mindset, you understand that when you go down that second path, that right path, the unknown, that there's so much more that lies there. Like we are meant to expand. And so there are a lot of people that will live their lives half-lived. There are a lot of people that will continue to go down the left path because it's what they know and it's what they're comfortable with, and they're too afraid to shift and change their mind in order to do the unknown. But if you feel that fear and you feel drawn to continue down that right path, the one that's unknown, that you've never been down, but has so much promise, then here are a couple of things that you can do to really align your mind. Number one is understand and remind yourself why it feels intriguing. What is on the other side of that? Why do you feel called to that? What are the thoughts? What are the feelings? What is that end goal that you have that is calling you down that path, right? Maybe it's a new career. Maybe it is this book that you have always wanted to write and you just feel really drawn to go to this place and do it, right? Maybe it is a different relationship or health, right? A different physical situation that you have going on. What is it that lies on the other side? That if you take this path, what is that end goal that's calling to you? So that's the first thing, is you want to remember. You want to kind of bypass the fear for a second and remember why that path exists. What is on the other side of that? What's at the end of that, right? The second thing you want to do is remember that as much as fear brings up all the potential for doom and gloom, you have a choice to imagine the best possible outcome. That is the beauty that we have of our mind. That is what mindset is all about. It's intending, it's practicing, it's believing and trusting and choosing the thoughts that feel good, the beliefs that feel good, the beliefs that say, I don't know all the things that are going to unfold on this path, but I trust that this is the path I feel called to take. And even if I'm afraid, the best possible outcome is worth moving through the unknown. Okay? So you remember that trust is a choice. Faith is a choice. Belief is a choice. And in every moment of every day, you have an opportunity to choose. Are you going to believe in lack or doom and gloom? Or are you going to believe in abundance and possibilities and potentiality, right? So where does your mind go? Fear is automatically going to bring up all the reasons you shouldn't do it. But I want you to explore why you should, why you feel called. What's the best possible outcome? What is lying on the other side of this choice for you? Okay? And then the third thing you want to do is you want to make a decision. Fear doesn't have to go away, doesn't have to disintegrate, doesn't have to disappear. You don't have to overcome it in order to make a decision. A lot of people paralyze themselves, paralyze their lives because they're waiting for fear to go away. They're waiting for that fear to dissipate or disappear. Of course, it would be so much easier to do the thing, whatever that is for you. If you were fearless, of course, you wouldn't even question this. It would be so much easier for you to do that if you didn't have any fear. But that's not what we're here for, right? You have an opportunity to decide even though fear is there. And like I said, a colleague of mine used to say, don't let fear drive the bus. Put fear in its place in the back seat. Let it have its voice because it's going to be there. It's going to happen when you are doing something that's unknown. But don't allow it to drive your decision. Make a decision. Decide what you're going to do, and then do the belief work, do the mindset work. Write down all the reasons that you trust and believe this is going to unfold for you. Write down all the evidence that shows you that this is the next step for you. Write down all the signs that the universe is sending you that this is the right path for you. Do the thought work that supports this new path, this new decision, this thing that you're getting ready to do, right? When you do that, your fear shrinks a bit because now you're leaning into your belief. Does that make sense? So you have the power to move through this fear. Fear doesn't have to disappear, but remember, you always have a choice. And so to those of you who have let fear lead the way, who have let fear stop you from taking that job or moving to that new house or writing that book or starting that business or start that, fitness plan or whatever it is that the thing is for you, I want you to go back and listen to this again. I want you to go back and look at what path you're choosing, what thoughts are you reinforcing, and what is the reason you feel called to go down this other road? What's calling to you? Because something is calling to you. And then I want you to do the belief work. I want you to do the mindset work. I want you to list out all the ways that this thing can work out for you and all the evidence that you have to support this vision and all the reasons you have to believe that it's going to work out. And I want you to practice it, and I want you to commit to it. And I want you to keep coming back to it because it is possible for you. Okay? Fear is going to be there. We are human. It is part of our path. It's part of us, right? But it doesn't have to drive the bus. It doesn't have to be the leader in anything that we do. It can come along for the ride, but you get to decide what you do next. Okay? Make sure that that mindset work is a part of the process. I promise it makes a huge difference in this path. And if you find that you are struggling a bit with mindset or trying to figure out like, how do you take this step? What do you do with belief work? How do you, master your mindset, and you want some support with that, feel free to reach out. I offer some free consultations where you can chat with me and see if we're a good fit to work together. And then, we can have that conversation. If you are also interested in learning about what this whole coaching situation looks like and feels like, I have something up my sleeve. I have an event. It's a free event that I'm hosting later this month. I'm going to be sharing the details with you next week, so stay tuned for that. But if you're interested in a free opportunity to get some coaching in a group setting, post a comment below, send me a message, and I will send you all the details as soon as they are available, okay? In the meantime, I hope you guys are having a great week, and if you have a question related to anything around mindset, it can be a particular situation, it can be fear, it can be trust, it can be faith, it can be taking actions, whatever it is. If you have a question that you would like me to answer for you on one of these live streams, feel free to submit that to me. You can send me a message on Facebook or email me through my website, okay? Hope you guys are having a great Thursday, and let me know what questions you have. Remember, you don't have to be fearless to move forward. You get to decide and do the mindset work to get behind yourself, all right? All right, guys, I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.